What's up? What's up? What's up? Hi, it's me again, LaShawn Bridges. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. As each week, I discuss with you guys politics and the uprunning Democratic presidential candidates for year 2020. I'm sorry, you guys. Today, I'm going to do this out of the comfort of my home. I usually have my blue screen up in the background, but today is going to be a little bit different. Okay, so bear with me. I'm having computer difficulties, so I will be doing this from my cell phone. All right. So it's so much to cover, right? We had the Democratic presidential debates of 2020 in January, and they were getting ready for the last one. This was the last one before the Iowa caucuses on February 3rd. Only 6 candidates qualified, you guys, for the debates this time. There were no people of color, unfortunately, during the debates. And I was sad to see that my boy Andrew Yang, he was not there. He didn't make the presidential candidate debates this time. He did not raise enough money, unfortunately, but hopefully we'll see him in the future, right? But the 6 who did make the debates this time were Vice President Joe Biden. There were former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg, Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, and billionaire executive Tom Steyer and Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. Those were the people that did make the cut. Now, according to Time Magazine, each candidate had until 11:59 p.m. on January 10th to get at least 5% in 4 DNC approved polls and at least 7% in 2 early state polls, such as Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, and Nevada. And they also met at least 225,000 donors who had a minimum of 1,000 unique donors in at least 20 states, U.S. territories, or Washington, D.C., come to find out. So, it was very, very important for them to make debates. Now, Yang, of course, the businessman, him and New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, they both met the donor requirements but didn't quite hit the polling threshold, unfortunately. But now, who were the stronger candidates who might have won for the debate, for that night? Where, according to Vox.com, there was really not a winner. But Bernie Sanders had a great night, they said. And I agree, because Bernie was, he was especially remaining very bold and very strong, especially when it comes to universal basic health care, which he feels adamant about. And he remained strong in the climate change, issue as well. But the highlight to me came when, of course, there was debates when Bernie, the Democratic presidential candidate, and unfortunately Elizabeth Warren, they were feuding, and over the comments that Senator Bernie Sanders made back in 2018 about what he felt about women presidential candidates. I was like, okay. Now, Bernie kept addressing back to the climate change, trying to avoid this particular feud. But, I watched CNN play back the comments about Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and their engagement in that situation. And Elizabeth, she stepped to Bernie and questioned him. During the debates, Bernie stated that he denies telling her in a private meeting in 2018 that women could not be president. So he still was trying to deny, the fact that he said that at all. Now, after the debates were over, I felt that even though their microphones were still on, it really bothered Senator Elizabeth Warren. So she confronted Senator Bernie Sanders about it, and she said, "I think you called me a liar on national TV," she said. And once again, Bernie managed to back out of the conflicting situation. And he said, let's not go, talk about it right now. He said, if you want to have that discussion, we'll have that discussion. But he was basically telling her, but not right now. Now, some may think that Elizabeth Warren may have been, unprofessional, but I don't believe so. I mean, I feel she was in her right. She, was in her right to address Bernie and was trying to, feel like that she felt Bernie was making her look like a liar. So she called him out on it. So I feel like she was in her right. But I wonder why they had that little dispute. If Warren is still going to think of Bernie as her friend, as she claimed he was during the debates. I mean, do you think she still want to really feud with him? But you don't know, how these debates might turn out, But another candidate that was pretty strong during the debates, I feel, was Pete Buttigieg, as well as Tom Steyer, the billionaire, the businessman. Tom Steyer was very strong on the comments about climate change and stood his ground as to how he would, want to solve this issue. And he kept saying it during debates. I remember him stating how he would make this particular issue a state of emergency if he becomes president, climate change. So I felt like that was a good pointer. It was especially funny to me when businessman Tom Steyer interrupted Elizabeth Warren and Bernie when they was having their feud and exchange. And Tom, I don't know if you guys saw it, I'm sure you guys did. He sort of interrupted and just said, hey, he looked at Bernie, I just want to say hi. Basically saying, I don't want a part of you and Elizabeth and your feud. I just want to say hi. Um, but Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, they both remain strong in the debates, trading criticism of their long records on trade, foreign policy, and healthcare. And I don't think that, Amy Klobuchar, she wasn't as strong as she could have been. She was okay. She made some good pointers. But she wasn't as strong as Bernie, Elizabeth, or Joe Biden in the debates. Biden still, of course, remains the lead. And I heard he's talking to Andrew Yang lately, there's rumors that he's sort of getting close with Andrew Yang and familiarizing himself with his policies. So you never know. We might see Andrew Yang after all. If he does become president, maybe we might see him as Joe Biden's vice president if Joe Biden becomes president, right? We hope. But I know who needs to get out of office, and that is President Trump. Now, Nancy Pelosi, she's come back again with the second articles of impeachment. And so it looks like Trump may just get the kick out of the door that we want, that we've been looking for, right? Now, the impeachment changes the centers, of the allegation. It, talks about charges the centers of the allegation, that Trump withheld the military aid in a White House meeting to pressure Ukraine to investigate his political rivals, according to the Washington Post, including former Vice President Joe Biden and his son, Hunter Biden. Now, Nancy Pelosi will appear on HBO's Real Time with Bill Maher in discussing the next steps of the impeachment process. Now, back in December, the House voted, remember, 2 articles of impeachment and our abuse, they said that this abuse of power and obstruction to Congress, and that Trump will be the 3rd president in the United States to be impeached. Okay. Now, it seems like his old friend Giuliani's associate Lev Paranis said President Trump knew exactly what was going on regarding their actions in Ukraine, come to find out. Now, according to NBC, the House Democrats released records showing Rudy Giuliani requested a private meeting with Volodymyr Zelensky, then the president-elect of Ukraine, with Trump's knowledge and consent. Juicy information, right? Now, the main question and concern also has been going around as to, who will Trump's witnesses be? Who are they? This, on the trial. Now, the vote will come down to the Senate, and according to NBC News, 47 Democratic senators are looking for 4 Republicans to back their demand that several top current and former Trump administration officials will testify. So, we will have to keep watching, and I will do another video soon that will discuss further the information I find out about Trump, because there's so much information and I can't do it just all in just this video. So you have to tune into my next video as I discuss further in detail about the impeachment hearings and what's going on with Trump. So please watch it. And thank you for watching this video. Please continue to watch me as each week I discuss with you guys politics and up-running Democratic presidential candidates for the year 2020. So see you next week in the next video, and goodbye. Deuces.